Alright, so at least the microphone's working. Let me put on the shirt. I'll be back. I have to use the microphone on these very cheap headphones. I need to turn down the volume on the TV. I'm watching some political documentary. Don't gotta worry about that. Shout out to Pillboy, by the way. Oh, that's gonna bite me in the ass. I can just feel it later on in life. I'm gonna be interviewed by somebody, and I'm gonna get shot down because I like Pillboy. Alright, turn on the microphone and the camera. Hi. Alright. I can't fix that. This light is my permanent light fixture. I mean, I can do this. Is this okay? I think. I don't know, but that means I need to set up facing this way. That's impossible. I could place one thing here, and then go all the way over here. No, that won't work. Maybe like before when I started cleaning, right here. Move it down a little bit. Alright. Let me turn off the backlight. Perfect. Yeah. Cool. You can see my two eyes, you can see my teeth, and you can see how fat I've gotten. Welcome. I don't even know what day it is. I just wrote day 5. Um, yeah, I just got back from work. And let's get started. Let me grab a chair. Also, technically, I don't even need to wear these, so I don't need to put on my noise canceling or anything. I'm sorry for my t-shirt. Actually, yeah, let me put this on top of my head like this, so you don't hear any scratching. Okay, you hear a little bit of scratching, and I'm sorry if the volume's a little bit loud. I am getting used to this, and this isn't too fun for me. I'm at negative 15 dB. I don't know what that is. I mean, I know it's decibels, which is a way of counting sound, but I don't know exactly what that's measuring. Yeah, hold on. Can I zoom in? I think I can. If I just sit down right here. Perfectly. Hi. Yeah, a lot of things happened. So I'm not gonna go deep into this shit. I'm gonna say it all at once. I got fired of January 2026. I don't want to talk about it. Maybe a few years later when I don't feel ashamed for what I thought America was. Went into a little bit of a depression thing. Spring hit. I was still fat, even though I said I was gonna start losing weight when spring started. Um, and because of that, I was a little bit more ashamed. Sure, whatever. Started my spring classes, or continued my spring classes into late spring. Snow stopped. It's sunny and warm outside nowadays. That's cool. My previous medical case, well, not medical. I'm not dying from it. It's not hurting me. It's just a skin case of pityrosis rosea has flared up, in which my entire body from the top of my neck, yeah, not even just from the neck, like down here, from where my t-shirt ends, from the top of my neck down, it's completely covered in black spots, black scaly fungus-like spots, which, sure, yeah, make me look even more ugly. That's what I need, body. Um, my acne has nigh disappeared, and I think it's because I have a good skin routine for my face and only my face. I shaved my hair So I looked more presentable in an interview. And speaking of interviews, after 1,000, and you better listen to this, 1,500 applications, I finally got my interview. Well, I had technically two interviews, but the other one, they made it so complicated for me to meet them. They made it sure where I could, well, they didn't specifically make it. I'm not going to be one of these hateful people, which I'm going to blame the world for not aligning with my schedule. The world has its own schedule. I'm only free on Tuesdays and Thursdays between a certain amount of time. The other times, I've been, that's my TV. Um, I've been doing other shit. And how could you be busy if you never had a job before an interview? I don't know. um, I'm nobody. There's no comments. This is me yelling at myself in my head. Um, I don't know, but I was busy on the other days. Well, technically, I wasn't busy. It was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that they could have met me, but they only called me on Mondays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And on the Sundays, they called me during the time where I'm, at church in the morning. So I couldn't do a phone interview with them. And the other days that I was busy at, well, Tuesday and Thursdays, I'm technically busy, but in the afternoon to evening, I'm not. They could have called me then, but no, they called me and tried to set up a day where I went to them on the same times and dates, Tuesday and Thursday, either in the morning or in the evening, to go to one of their workshops for the interview. I can't do that. Unfortunately, I just can't because I have to learn. I'm not gonna skip a school day, which spoilers, I'm not doing good at school. Um, just to do an interview with them. So they've been quiet. I lost one. And if I lost the other one, it would have been a straw. I would have been, because before I've been already applying online, finding actual reputable resources, because now there's scammers on LinkedIn that take your information and make shell companies within your name. Blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, I've been trying to find proper companies, and the second one, if that one failed, I would have just done everything. Posters on the wall that said, "You can get quick money here for doing blah, 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 blah." I would have sold my soul. Not that way. I am Christian. Speaking of which, because of my pityrosis rosea, it made my neck skin and some other parts of my body really, really delicate. And that meant I couldn't take a shower with my cross on, so I had to take it off. It also meant that I had to remove the black rope, but the black rope I just moved here. Let me get closer so I can show you. Black rope's right here. I just tied it over my arm. But yeah, the cross is in my coin cabinet over there. And by coin cabinet, I mean the ceramic bowl that I made for coins is just on top of there, sitting, chilling. And yeah, let's close the. That's my mini fridge. And yeah, I can't wear my cross anymore until I get that fixed. I have an appointment with a dermatologist for my pitcher rosea, hair loss, and my gynecomastia. And I just learned it's not gynecomastia, it's gynecomastia. Cool. They put another syllable in there. But yeah, I'm gonna talk to them about all that. And I don't know if there's a proper solution or not. So yeah, that's that. But I went to the job interview, I talked to them, and they finally gave me the job. I was excited. But the job offer that I applied for 19. I was hoping I was gonna get $1 extra, but no, they gave me 18, which is the same amount of pay that I got from Harbor Chase. So I was a little surprised. Within the job offer call that they gave me, they said, since you're working full time, you'll be sent to both the cafe and the Crescent Overlook restaurant, which felt like I was doing double the amount of work for the same amount of pay. And I thought I was going to get used again. Let me sit straight. But turns out, no, it wasn't that. This place is amazing. I I can't explain it. I did less work, less required work, but I'm trying to be more helpful. I'm trying to be more positive. I always ask people if they need any help. Um, I always do that. I try to keep my common goal here isn't to make friends. No, I can't keep friends. This is me building leniency. If my bosses like me enough that they won't suspect me as the first person to blame, like my old job, um, and my coworkers don't immediately look at me when they want me to do something because I'm not being nice as in like, oh, let me do this for you after they try to like ask somebody. No, I immediately go up to them. I think this word is called malicious compliance or violence compliance. I don't know what it's called, but it's being nice to the point that someone else could be ashamed of something and blah 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 blah. Blah. A lot of complicated socio psycho all that nonsense that I don't know, but it's working. Uh, People don't go up to me as much to do stuff for them, and they think of me as a good person. Meaning, one, they avoid asking me to do a lot of stuff for them because they feel like a bad person for asking me to do that, but they aren't. I'm not trying to make them feel that. Well, I am, but not in the way to like make them feel bad. It's just so they ask me less. And my bosses don't immediately suspect me of anything when, let's say, for example, there's a Red Bull missing in the fridge, or blah 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 is missing from someplace. Even if I did it, for example, there's a little box of Oreos right next to the freight elevator that we use to go to the clock out room. I take a handful of Oreo cookies, put them in my bag. They're pre-wrapped mini two-piece cookies within the consumer box that they have. It's not like I'm actually putting raw Oreos into my bag and letting them crumble. No, that's psychotic. But yeah, they said nothing. Either they're just a very rich, big, not rich, big company, or I'm just not the first person they would expect. And it's going great so far. My regular schedule is from Monday to Sunday, except Tuesdays and Thursdays. And during the weekday, I'm already at the little cafe that they have. And during the actual active part of the shift, it's way less than when I handled at Harbor Chase. It's literally we put in the orders. They are capable senior citizens, which is different from the assistant living senior citizens. And they pick up their food, they go, they take their orders. All I gotta do is be a regular server. Pop, pop, pop on an iPad. Your total is blah, 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 blah. I charge it to their account so they don't give me cash. I don't handle cash. Just sweet. And I give them a receipt. And workers could also pay. And it's not like they get deducted from their paycheck. That's evil. No, they use their credit card, which has a payment system and everything. Another nice thing. And they have a POS machine that they taught me to use. And all of the four managers, the woman, the head tallest manager, and the two of my favorite managers are all nice. Or actually, there's a fifth manager. Okay, so one of them is a general manager, and the other three are dining room managers, dining room shift managers. They clock in shifts, but there's a general manager who's the manager of them and also the manager of the entire dining room ecosystem. The utility staff, which is the janitors, the cooks, and the servers. I almost said servants, the servers, the wait staff. And I think he has a little bit more power outside of that, considering one of the biggest parts of the senior living center that I'm working at is the restaurants. I don't know about the other parts. They might be bigger parts, who knows? But yeah, it's very, very like big. It's very grand. and I like it there. I do less work. We get plenty of food, and they don't try to cut my hours around. They don't try to make me do less here, do more there. There's no overtime request that I wouldn't say no to. The ones that they want me to do are within my work hours, so there's no like force. And when they want me to do it, it's not like, okay, you have to do this, otherwise I'll be very upset with you, blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's fine. We can move this to another day and other people can work. Anybody who wants to stay and help us can. And they're very lovely. I like them a lot. They're very nice. Hold on, I need to sign in to check my chat. Uh, no, I don't need to sign in to check my chat. And that's just if I want to type within the chat, which I don't have to, and I don't care for. Okay. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. But yeah, I've been working there for the past 4 weeks. It was pretty nice. And now to the sad part, school. Because I was in a rut for getting fired, which was completely my fault, and I don't want to talk about it. I was a little bit depressed, and I didn't do much of exercising. I canceled. I love One Life Fitness, but yeah, I canceled my gym membership because I didn't have any money to pay them, even though they've been secretly taking money out of my bank account because they made me sign a 1 year contract that ends on the 11th month, 2026, which is wonderful. Yeah, I stopped going to the gym. I stopped trying to do school stuff because school stuff really was daunting in my head. I was really depressed. And because of that, I am failing in two classes out of the three. One of them is a 100% failure rate, which was history because I was caught cheating with AI. I've learned my lesson and I won't do it because now the dean's office is trying to contact me and I've missed both of their important calls because my phone's dead. Have I plugged my phone? I haven't. Let me plug my phone and come back because I need to go swimming soon. It's 6:37. I'll be back. Well, technically, I don't have to be back. Yeah, my thing is moving perfectly. I can talk to you from the microphone of the headphones. So, I'm going into my bedroom, which has some fresh laundry on the floor. It's folded and everything. I just need to put it within the thingies. I'm sitting on my bed. Sweet. I'm plugging my phone. Alright. And another thing about this company is that they don't have many benefits. Compared to my old company, they have a lot of benefits, but they don't have many active benefits. Like I don't get Six Parks tickets, discounts, blah 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 blah. It's not like that serious. But they have one that I really like, which is the same thing. They do tuition reimbursement like my old place. And as you know, I need to pay for my classes. I don't have FAFSA. I don't have access to FAFSA. Um, so I have to do tuition reimbursement. And the good thing is, the other place had a grading system. A was 75%, B is 60%, C is 50%, and anything below a C, we're not going to pay it. We're not going to reimburse you. Because if you fail the class, why would they pay you? That one I understood. But the fact that they removed high chunks from the payment system, depending on your grade, was also very annoying. They instead just said, if you pass the class, we will pay up to 75% of your tuition, up to $5,000. Which, granted, doesn't sound too nice. $5,000. That sounds like a month of university tuition. I don't like it. I'm going to Montgomery College and doing 3 classes a semester with the cheapest level of payments. That's $3,000. maybe max if I do 4 classes total. 2,200 if I'm doing it with 3 classes. So paying up to 5,000 would be 2 whole semesters and a little like online class each year. They're paying almost 100% of my yearly semester, which is pretty nice. If we tabulate, if I learn all 4 semesters like I'm in the school semester system, I would be getting 2,000, 2,000, 1,000. They would be paying up to 3 whole semesters completely out of pocket. And that's nice. That's really good. And I want them to do that. So that's another nice thing. And with that, we get to math. Uh, math. Math got a little bit hard for me when I grew up. And when I grew up, I'm not saying, wow, back in my day. No, I'm saying when I grew up and became an adult and I have to manage a whole house for the first time. I managed a whole house before, but that was before I had to also manage work life and school life. So the house is a little bit of a mess. And I still don't apologize to my brother for how I acted, the way he treated me, because I couldn't clean the house one day was unforgivable. He did a lot of other shitty things too, but I'm still held up on that. And the fact that I made a joke about eating all the food, I didn't eat all the food, and he proceeded to. I'm not. He's a person. Let's just say a person. He's a person to me now. I don't see him as my brother. By legal title, he is my brother, but I don't see him as much as that. Our conversations on phone is very short. He doesn't know where I live, and I hope it stays like that, but our conversations are very short nowadays. I hope one day that, and it's not me specifically, like, I'm not saying like I hate him. He's turning to a dark direction that I don't think anybody's going to be able to save him other than himself. And it's not another pick yourself up by the bootstrap nonsense. I'm literally saying stop drinking, stop using Uber as the only form of payment, and start looking for a job that has a steady payment cycle and break days. You're tiring yourself over nothing and blaming the world over it. Stop. Stop drinking yourself to sleep. Stop punishing your liver and your friends and family for your addictions. You're not 19 anymore, not 20 anymore. You already have a child, Miki. I don't know why I'm saying this to a camera. But yeah, Miggy not good no more. And yeah, I wish him the best, but we're not on good terms from now. And what was this? Math class. Yeah, I'm not doing a math class. I'm not doing good in math class. That's pretty much it. Because I accidentally missed one test, my total grade went from 69% nice to 49% not good. One of my friends within the class, one of my classmates within the class said that if if I somehow get good on the final exam, which is the fourth test of the entire semester, that is cumulative. I don't know what that means, but they say it would also fix the other ones and I'll be hunky dory. The thing is, I'm not doing good in the class, so I don't understand what statistics 101 is. I don't know all this probability nonsense, this hypothesis testing, this randomization bootstrapping, this normalization distribution, all this nonsense. I don't know it. I know their names. I don't know how to calculate them. It's a bunch of hooey. And I'm thinking of getting a tutor, but I don't know, like a dedicated personal tutor, not the Montgomery College tutors, because how are they gonna help me if I myself don't understand what the class is about? Like they're helping you for like stuff that you don't understand. But what if you don't understand the entire class? They can't start from zero. They don't have that time. Calm down, okay. So yeah, I'm looking for another tutor. and this time it's out of my pockets. May 1st is my first paycheck, and May 7th is the final exam. I have $98 with my name. I'm gonna go to Kumon on Tuesday, because I'm free in the evenings. I'm gonna go to my art class, do all my art projects. I need to finish art by this Monday, which is nice. But yeah, and I need to finish my math homework, and I need to study for test 3, which is on May 7th. Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. Test 3 is chapter 5 and 6. I forgot what 5 is about, and 6 is. We didn't learn 6 yet, but it's within next week. So it goes May 1st on Friday, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th on Thursday. 7th on Thursday. Yeah, I can count. I can count. Don't look at me. But yeah, it's all that. Yeah, that's my life so far. I've gained a little bit more weight. I've gained very, very little muscle. I have a diabetes tester because I had a little diabetes scare. My heart does this funny thing where if I stretch or breathe too much oxygen, if I breathe too much rich air or stretch too good, my heart does this little spike where it's like either my arteries are clogged or some shit like that. But yeah, it does something like that, and that's great. That's wonderful. And yeah, that's life so far. I'm not at my peak anymore, and it's scaring me. And I don't have time to improve on my physical self, where my brain and my work life are also important. Hey, what are you gonna do about it? Organization wise, I haven't done much research, but I am thinking of making a GoFundMe. Well, I'm not gonna make a GoFundMe. I'm gonna donate instead. Why would I set up a GoFundMe for a organization for black people in need? Where I am also a black person in need. I don't have the right to do that. I'm gonna donate to an organization that does all that. At least $150 by the end of spring. 150 to $200 out of my own pockets. And that's pretty much it for the year. Maybe during winter, by the end, I said by the end of spring, by the end of summer, I'm gonna donate that money because I'm also saving money to buy a car. Great news! I'm gonna buy a car. $18 an hour, 75, not 75, 72 hours a paycheck, which is a bi-weekly paycheck. That's around $1,100 a paycheck for $2,200 a month. If I save at least 70 to 80% of my paycheck into a interest account, I would lose some of that money, yeah, but I would also gain it back tenfold later on in life. So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna split it like this. I'm gonna put first I'm gonna cut it 70%. So 70% of that, and then 70 to 50-50. So I don't know what the half of 70% is. And I'm gonna put that into a safe, non-changing savings account, and then the other into my investment accounts that is managed by other people. I think it's called Fidelity Go. I haven't even checked that out, but I think I'm doing well. I don't know. It's only $120 in that bank account anyways. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go swimming now so I can increase my cardio so I don't uh, so I don't look like a dumbass after a cross country run that I tried to did. Oh, I hate myself. I ran around the block and I was sweating and heaving and hoeing. Oh my God. I can't even look at myself and say that I used to be a cross country runner, cuz I'm not fit like one anymore. I wasn't fit then too, but at least I had the energy. I was running marathons whenever they said so. I was doing 3 mile runs every day. I was doing 5 mile runs from Silver Spring to DC on Sundays. First, I would run to church, and then I would run to downtown to grab a drink from Walgreens, and then I would grab a bus back home. Ugh. And now look at me. I can't run a circle without getting tired. Well, not a circle, a square. This is clean. Don't think of me out of anything. This is clean. Whoa, 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 audio. I'm sorry. Wow, that was scratchy. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting that I have horrible audio gear. But yeah, I'm gonna try to increase my cardio. That's pretty much it. That's that's literally it. I have nothing else. What else can I say? My life is a mess. I'm trying to do better. Uh, Cleaning up. I already cleaned up a little bit. These are all. Well, this one isn't empty, but you can't see it. There's a cardboard box full of trash that I'm gonna take out before I go outside. I'm gonna clean that. The gym closes at 8. What time is it right now? It is 6:50. I'll have 2 hours in the pool. 1 hour of swimming and the other hour fucking around in the gym. Well, no, actually, it's just 1 hour because it closes at 8 on the dot. So I guess 30 minutes of swimming, 30 minutes of. That wouldn't work, no. I'd have to come back home and use my personal gym. Hmm, that's fine. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If anybody does come across this, I hope you guys stick around. Tell me what I'm doing wrong in life, and maybe in the near future, 2 or 3 years later, I'll start diving deep into the research of how to start a charitable organization that does multiple things in life. Not just donating money and trying to feed people, but also try to fix school systems, award scholarships for brighter minds so they can help me in the future, and job rehabilitation and recovery and helping options, like people who just got fired, people who've been jobless for a while, drunk people, heroin addicts, everything. This will not be centered around black people. This will not be centered around white people. This will not be centered around Ethiopian people. This will not be centered around Hispanic people. This will be the entire world. That's pretty much it. Bye. Oh, one more thing. Um, I'm hoping this is still recording, but I'll be doing this every Sunday from now on, and maybe some shorts in between.